What's going on, guys? Welcome to my first tutorial video here on YouTube. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with our 2-guard closed, going up to the crown of the head. You'll see I keep brushing the hair down and going against the hair in different directions to make sure that I get all the hair cut, no flyaways, a nice clean canvas for my fade. Using the Barber FX clippers. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my 1.5, put the lever open, and then I'm just flicking all the way up right until that 2-guard that I just did. So I'm just underneath that with the 1.5 open. Go ahead and close it, and now I'll go right up under the other line that I just did with the 1.5 open. So I'm just 1.5 closed, clearing out that section, getting it ready for the fade. Again, you'll see me comb down, flick of the wrist. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and put our initial guideline in. So I have my clipper closed, lever closed, going to go up to where I want that line, and I'm gonna put it in. Now I put the line in with the clipper open, like how you're seeing, up to the clipper pointing up to the ceiling instead of clipper towards the ground and putting that hard line in. I don't like to do that. I know a lot of barbers do, but I'm just not a fan of it. I think any line you put in the haircut, you have to take out of it, and putting a hard line like that in the haircut is just not something that I personally like to do. So now I'll go ahead and grab the trimmers. I'm using the Gold FX Barber trimmers, which are awesome. If you guys haven't tried them, definitely check them out. I'm someone that always uses T-outliners. These are awesome, game changer. So I'm using these, going right up underneath that initial guideline and flicking my wrist, making sure that it blends in. Again, not putting any really hard lines in, just bringing it up just underneath the 0 and flicking out to blend it in. Let's go ahead and catch a line for the C cup, just using the edge like it's a pencil, just drawing it right over. Don't want to push in his line up, but I do want to get a nice edge on it. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright, gonna go ahead and grab foils or shavers and doing the same thing that I just did with the trimmers, just a little bit lower. So I'm taking the shavers, I'm getting as close as I can, not really pressing too hard, letting the clipper do the work, but I'm cleaning out all that hair and getting it as close as possible, because that's what's going to give us the most contrast between the skin and the hair to make that fade really pop. So I'm bringing it right up underneath where I just was with the trimmers and flicking out, trying to get it to blend in. Sometimes these will leave a little bit of a line, depending on how you go with them, but what I like to do when that happens is sometimes I'll tap on the line with them, or tap downward with them, kind of blend it in, and then I'll maybe go in with my trimmers and use the corner of the blade just to really detail it and make it nice. There's Noah holding the mask. Yeah, dude, I can't tell you how annoying these masks have been for clients. I feel awful. I have them hold them a lot of the time. Sometimes I'll work around it, but I had him hold it in this case for most of the haircut. Alright, so we got our 0 to skin faded, and then now we just have that 0 to 1.5 section. So I grab my 1-guard and I put it on open, and I'm just going up underneath where the 1.5 closed line was. So clearing it out, you'll see the fade is going to start to come together a little bit. So I got lever open on a 1, using the corner of the blade, cutting it different directions, combing the hair down, making sure it's all going the same direction. And now I'll close it, and I'll go underneath what I just did. So 1 closed just underneath your section that you did the 1 open. Yep, flicking the wrist. You can really see it starting to get a little bit, you know, more contrast there. So we're gonna go ahead and grab the clippers again, take the guard off and open up that lever. And we're gonna go just above where we were when we did just the clipper with a 0, that initial guideline. We're just bumping that out now. So I got my clipper open. I'm just, you know, doing small back and forth motions, flicking my wrist, really trying to get that line out. You know, again, brushing the hair and keeping my workspace clean. And that fade is starting to come together. So you can see there's like a little bit of a line there where I'm at right now, and I'm just, you know, closing the lever a little bit as I need to take that out, make this fade just a little bit better, and do some quick fine tuning. I like to do a lot of the fine tuning at the end of the haircut, guys, but sometimes I will do a little bit like in between my steps in my process. Make sure there's a point where you guys are doing the fine tuning, whether, you know, it should most likely be at the end of the haircut, but if you're going to do it at certain points in your process, that's fine. I see a lot of barbers that don't fine tune, and we got to make sure we fine tune and take that haircut to the next level. So I got my half guard on there now, and I usually start with it open, but you know, depending on the haircut, it might be closed. In this case, it's open, so I am just seeing what's cutting, what's not, seeing where I need to go back and touch up any dark spots or imperfections in my fade, and just kind of detailing it up, you know, really trying to make sure the blend is there. All right, now we'll go to the other side. And we got the 1.5, and we're going with it closed. Must have already done it open. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just clearing it out again, doing the same thing that I did on the other side, guys. Just clearing this out to get my workspace ready for my fade. Combing the hair down, making sure it's neat. Now we'll go ahead and set that initial guideline in there. Putting that 0 in. Now these are just the clippers closed. Cleaning all of it out. Now this client likes to have his cut like, you know, mid to high fade. He likes it to drop a little bit. He doesn't want a drop fade, but he likes it to kind of slope in the back, and I do that naturally with my clients anyway. It's just a way that I like to cut. So got my 0 in there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my trimmers, put an edge on that C cup. Yep. Lining them up. Pushing that other hair on his forehead up. Make sure that you guys don't take off too much hair if you're doing a front lineup. I know certain haircuts call for different amounts to be taken off, and, you know, got to make adjustments, but I always try to be careful to leave most of that hair. All right, so taking the trimmers, doing the same thing we did on the other side, just going up and clearing out that area right underneath the 0, flicking the wrist as we get to the top. I don't want to push it into the 0 line, but I want it to be just underneath it. And now I'll do the same with the shavers. Flicking it, you know, getting that area as cleared out as possible. And I'm just flicking into what is already there. Don't want to push into that trimmer line or that 0 line. I want to stay underneath it. All right. We'll take our 1 guard, flip it open, and just going to go up about 1 inch, you know, right underneath the 1.5 close that we did. going at different directions, trying to make sure all that hair is cut. Let's go ahead and close that. We got the one guard on there closed, just going underneath the one open that we just did. Using the corner of the blade, flicking the wrist. Those are incremental things for when you're fading. Let's see here. Yep. And we'll take the one guard off, and I got my clipper on open, and I'm just fading out that initial guideline now. You can see I'm kind of flicking, keeping my workspace clean, trying to stay consistent. Shoulders in the way. So there, yep. So you can really see the fades start to come together. Now I still have to detail this side, but it's looking pretty blurry so far. Definitely a nice blend. So now this is my half guard. This is where I'll start to do some touch-ups. I got it open right now, seeing what's gonna cut, seeing what areas I need to touch up, give it closed, and going back through doing the same thing. Doing some clipper over comb just to give it some nice shape into the top. Wetting the top of the hair. We're gonna take off just a little bit. I'm not taking off too much here, but right now I'm just creating that guideline down the center. I don't part the hair to make my guideline. I feel like I can navigate through the hair pretty well and know where I'm at. But if if you're more comfortable making the guideline, separate those sides and cut the middle and make that your guideline, and then use that for the rest of the cut. I just don't need to section it all the time. So I'm just working towards myself right now, evening out that hair. Go ahead and cut the front. Gonna do some cross-checking here. I think I actually ended up taking it a little bit shorter here than when I was cutting the other way. I think I just wanted to take a little bit more off, but yeah. So just going back through, cutting a little bit of length off, evening it out. Here I'll pull the hair tight on the side, help create that square shape. I don't want to take too much, but I do want to make it nice, so do the same thing on the other side here. Just gonna do some cross-checking, trim some of the ends. Not the best camera angle, but we got some lather on them, shaving the neck, edging them up. Shout out to Maddie in the background. She's one of our new barbers, just started with us a couple weeks ago. Give her a shout on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is madcuts with an underscore after it. But she does really good work. And that's the dog as well, our shop dog. You guys will see her in more videos. Her name's Honey. Director of First Impressions here. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and use the backhand for this. The arch on the left side of clients, much better if you can do some backhand. I know a lot of barbers don't love it, but I think it's really good to do for the left side arch. So I'm going ahead and I'm putting that in, just cleaning up around the edges, really making the final touches to this cut. Doing the same thing on the other side, just the edges. He needs that beard blended in still, but I actually didn't catch it on camera. But that's really the first tutorial video, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks.